I have seen some films where young becomes an old person, or, well, something like that. And, well, there's this one film that came out in 1988 that's gotten a bad reputation that makes you want to know that you better be careful what you wish for because it may just come true. So you better prepare yourself as I review the film known as 18 Again. Bad Days, Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Noel, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1988 fantasy comedy flick 18 Again, released by New World, directed by Paul Flaherty, starring George Burns in one of his final films, along with Charlie Schlatter. The, the film's plot involves a college student switching souls with his grandfather by means of an accident, a la Freaky Friday in a way. The film is based on Burns' 1982 I Wish I Was 18 Again, written by Sonny Throckmorton. The film was released on April 8th, 1988. Now then, I am going to try not to give the whole story away. So this is going to be a semi-spoiler review. Jack Watson is a millionaire playboy and businessman who is about to turn 81 years old as his grandson David is about to turn 18. But Jack laments his old age and wishes to to get back to his teens once more. When an accident switches their souls, Jack gets to live his grandson's life and all that it entails school, sports, and romance. Unfortunately, David gets the short end of the deal, as not only is he trapped in his grandfather's 81-year-old body, but he's also in a coma. The only one who knows the truth is his longtime friend Charlie, whom Jack was able to convince by recounting experiences only they knew. Well, Jack gets to approach his family from a fresh point of view and doesn't always like what he sees. He's been a distant parent for his son Arnie and has repeatedly disregarded his ideas for improving the family company. The college fraternity they coerced David into joining his old alma mater is bullying him on a regular basis and forcing him to write their test files for him. He also finds out that his girlfriend Madeline is unfaithful when she tries to seduce him, thinking he's Jack's grandson. Deciding to set things right, Jack and David's body decides to take charge by convincing his father, or rather Jack's son, to implement his ideas on the family business and uses his poker playing skills to beat the frat boys while betting $1,000 that he will beat the lead frat boy, Russ, in the upcoming track meet. Jack also impresses a girl named Robin who is taken with David's old fashioned style with bow ties and is vividly recounting the Second World War and meeting President Truman. So, apparently, they try to get things back to normal anyway and hope that David gets his chance to go up against Russ in the race. But that's just what you can experience at. So I'm as I've said, I'm not gonna give this whole movie away. This is just half of it, and that's just a tiny bit you can get, but that don't really count. So that's all the story I'm gonna give to you. So I'm not really gonna give the whole story to you because I know this film doesn't get a lot of good response. What did I think of the film? I'm going to say it was pretty funny and what have you. It was kind of like Freaky Friday, of course. This was one of the main films that kind of followed in that film's footsteps. Now, of course, other films came out before that included Like Father Like Son, which starred Dudley Moore and Kirk Cameron from TV's Growing Pains, which came out back in fall of the previous year. Now, 18 again was released a month after another body swap or soul swapping film, Vice Versa, came out with Judge Reinhold and Fred Savage. Now, I will try and review those two films later on down the road after I recently watched them for the first time. Now, it has a score by Billy Goldenberg, which was fine, what have you. Now, as for our cast, we have George Burns in the role of Jack. I'm gonna say he's good in this. I mean, I need to see maybe a few more of his films. I mean, the three Oh God films are the only ones of his I've recalled seeing. Playing David is Charlie Schlatter, who would later go on to play Dr. Mark Sloan, um, resident student, Dr. Jesse Travis on Diagnosis Murder. And would also go on to voice the titular character of Kik Batowski. Let's, um, yeah, and he also lent his voice to other cartoons and animated films. He also appeared on other TV shows as well. He did appear in a few other films, not too many though. Okay, now playing Arnie is Tony Roberts, who of course was well known for working on, well, appearing in 6 of Woody Allen's films, most notably Annie Hall. Playing David's mother Betty is Miriam Flynn. Of course, she was best known for playing Cousin Catherine in National Lampoon's Vacation, and was also the voice of Grandma Longneck in the Land Before Time franchise. And was also a recurring role as Sister Helen on TV's Grounded for Life. Playing Charlie is legendary funny guy Red Buttons. I'm going to say he was pretty good. Anita Morris plays Madeline. Pauly Shore, this was one of his first few films. Of course, he'd go on to do films like Son-in-Law and Encino Man, Biodome, and, well, several others. Oh, yeah, he also voiced Bobby, Robert Zimmerowski, in a Goofy movie. And playing Robin is Jennifer Runyon, who you may remember her for playing young Gwendolyn Pierce on TV's Charles in Charge. Also in movies like To All a Good Night, Up the Creek, and Ghostbusters. She also, later that same year, she played a grown-up Cindy Brady in A Very Brady Christmas, since Susan Olsen wasn't available. There's also, well, appearances from George DeCenzo. You may know him. He was acting, and he was well known for being a voice actor, voicing Hercules in Space Sentinels and Hordak in She-Ra, Princess of Power. And, well, that same year, he was also in The New Adventures of Hippie Longstocking. Bernard Fox, you may know him best as Dr. Bombay of TV's Bewitched fame. Let's see, and then there's even legendary voice actor Hal Smith. And also Earl Bowen, whom we sadly lost last January. He played Robin's dad. So, anyway, the cast isn't too bad. But when the film got released, it was heavily dissed and what have you. The film sits at 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. Roger Ebert was not impressed with this film. He compared it to both Like Father, Like Son, and Vice Versa, calling Vice Versa the best of the three by far, saying that the whole project seems to have been enveloped, well, or should I say enveloped, in a miasma of good intentions and heartwarming sentiments. There's no edge, no bite, and none of the inspired I'm getting tongue tied. Body language that made Vice Versa so special. The movie makes no attempt to really imagine what it would be like to inhabit another body. It just springs the gimmick on us and starts unreeling its sitcom plot. Although Burns is, of course, a beloved institution, and any opportunity to see him is welcome. He is not given much to do in the movie, and he doesn't do it much with it. No real effort has been made to find any differences between Burns and the character he plays in this movie. Well, I will say yes, it is a shame we don't see Burns much and what have you, since this character was in a coma after the accident. Janet Maslin was critical on the film for leaving Burns in a coma when he is who the audience came to see, and says that it isn't successfully aimed at anyone in particular. But I'm understanding why have you. I'm kind of a little mixed on the film, but I'm going to say 18 again was okay and why have you. It does have a few funny moments and what have you. You I think you can find the movie on YouTube, but if you can't, no problem. The movie is on Tubi. So I think Tubi would be your best chance to find this film. And my own words, I would only recommend you give this a one-time watch. I mean, if you are into some of these films, if you've seen Vice Versa or like Fire Like Sun, then I'd say give 18 again a one-time watch. Or maybe if you like them, a film that came out years later called 17 again, which had Zac Efron in it, which I will review that sooner or later. I don't know when, but I will. Then maybe you should give this a shot as well. So anyway, 18 again, yeah, give it a one-time watch. But if this isn't your cup of tea, then avoid it, okay? So that's all I'm going to tell you. What did you think of 18 again? Let me know in the comments section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you a review of Xenon the Sequel, the second Xenon Girl of the 21st Century film. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, check out some of these other films with a little twist in them. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of Big with Tom Hanks. The upper right-hand corner is my review of 13 Going on 30. Or if you would like more George Burns, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of Oh God. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.